should share my screen. Yeah, hopefully you can see my screen. Right? Can you confirm? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Shrikant, it's
good.
visible.
So you are seeing the Salesforce browser, right? The Trailhead one.
Yeah, pre-work. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, potentially the way that we are going to do, I mean, this is the Salesforce admin essentials training, and we will try to go through, try to cover the same topics that as per the training. So that would give us pretty much all the things that we needed uh, to get ready for interview or maybe anything that we want to do. Let's take this as our course curriculum. So let me share my screen. Yeah, let's go with the review. So yeah, when we met last time, we talked about what is Salesforce and what are Salesforce acquisitions and how it became as a platform instead of just CRM solution. And also how to learn Salesforce. That's what we have seen. I mean, potentially the Trailhead is the main thing, and a lot of YouTube channels and Twitter, all and the various blogs that we can read, and also the help.salesforce.com and developer.salesforce.com. And so we talked about some homework kind of thing. So not sure whether everybody is able to complete the work. And if you have any questions, we can talk about that, or maybe please reach out to me, or maybe post any questions in the group. So looks like I didn't see any questions. Hopefully everything went smooth. Anything on that?
Yeah, we were able to complete almost like 95% of it. The last chapter we couldn't, but
okay.
It was pretty informative and self-explanatory. I guess like no,
okay.
Not much issues as of now.
Okay, yeah, please feel free to let the group know if there are any issues. So at least, I mean, I see a few people were able to complete, and so whoever, I mean, either at least some of us can respond.
So Gurla, should we give until the next class also, Tuesday?
Yeah. So take your time. So I mean, there is no deadline or anything. If you are able to complete it by the time next class, I mean, usually the subsequent ones will be easy for you, and
Right,
you will get into the rhythm. So otherwise, I mean, there is no hard dependency of one course to other. And maybe from today onwards, here and there, we might run into some dependencies, but not quite a lot of dependencies.
Yeah, I mean to say at least they have to be on pace, because
yeah,
if you are covering something new, we don't want them to be like, oh, I don't know the previous one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start with the, I mean, we talked about the Trailhead arc, and also I don't know whether you noticed there is another link that I provided, the free training arc. So the free training arc is little different one than the Trailhead arc. And the way when you created the Trailhead arc, so potentially you must have seen some data associated with that arc. But this one is little different one. So Salesforce created this arc with some data that is needed for the training that we are talking about. And again, this one is free one. The only thing difference between this one and the other one, let me actually give you the link. So if you, I want you guys to follow with me. So use this link, at least click on that one. So it will take you to a screen like this one. So please fill in your details. And the way the training course name, so please provide the first one, Administration Essentials for New Admins. select that one. So I mean, when you are ready with other courses, I mean, this is most of it is self-learning one. But at least if you go through this one with me, so the next courses will be very easy for you. I mean, you can do it on your own. But select this guy and create this arc, and when you hit that one, so it will send an email to your email, and you need to click that guy to authenticate. Okay, it's that you, and so that will get that arc ready. Again, so this is little different one, as I said, so that you will see. I mean, once you start using this arc and compare with your trailhead arc, and definitely you see some differences between this arc and other arc. And again, so this one, typically whenever we do any work with Salesforce, we better link that arc into the trailhead arc, but this one you may not be able to link it to the trailhead arc, but that's okay. We are going to I mean, we'll see if we can save any of this data and metadata also. When I say metadata, potentially it's backend object data and all. Data is typically any business transactions that we create in this arc. And when you are ready, maybe we need to see the lightning experience. We need to turn it on, and so that I will walk you through in a little bit. And actually, if you see this screenshot, this is how you enable it. So when I created this arc, it was basically by default it came with classic experience, which we don't really use it, and Salesforce moved away from that experience. That is just the UI experience, and Salesforce, I mean, 2014 2015 time, so they started with lightning experience, and that's the one we need to use. So that is the one you need to set up using this path. And at the end, so we will also, when you create this arc, you have to reset the password. Just remember that password and log in into the mobile app also, the Salesforce one mobile app. And let me know if you are able to follow these steps. And I want everybody to create that arc, because most of our work is going to be on that new arc that we are going to create.
Are we creating it now, Srikanth?
Yeah, so let me see. Okay, I don't know whether you want me to create because I just created yesterday, so I can use that arc. But I mean, potentially you will see something like this. You just hit start my, I mean, click I'm not a robot, and then start my free trial. And you may see you have 43 days or something on the top. Yeah, some message you will see, but this is very short-lived arc. So, but 40 days is good enough for us to proceed.
Could you post that link in the? Did you already?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did that.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, let me actually put it in the WhatsApp also. I mean, just for it will be handy for us.
Shrikant, after sign up, we have to click on the free trial.
Yeah. So just start my free trial. So enter these details, start my free trial, and it will send you an email. Actually, let me do it one more time. So as you can see these are various courses I was talking about. And if you are ready for the advanced admin, so you can use the other one. The experienced is kind of advanced admin one. Then when you are ready for developer, you will use the Apex. And this is little more than this Apex. So when you are ready for integration courses, you want to do this. And this is more of old one, I think. And the managing development with force.com, maybe this is another developer one. So visual force controllers, maybe we may not use that much, but these are various training arcs that Salesforce has given as a Kickstarter.
it sent an email to me. So
Yeah, so yeah, it will take maybe 2 to 3 minutes. So please wait, because it has to create with your credentials, and also with a few details it will create, and it will get the domain ready for you. So you will see something like this, whatever the org name that you will give, potentially it will put in the domain. So here if you see, I gave my company name as Crestsoft. That's why it is giving the domain.
I had to link my phone number and get a
Yeah, so
code
yeah,
also.
right. Yeah, just follow the on-screen instructions. So if you provide your phone number, it will send you a text to authenticate. If you don't provide, was that a required field? I don't recall. So if it is if it is not required, if you just give email, it will send an email, and you have to click the link on the email.
If anyone's having any issue, difficulty, please speak up.
Yeah, because this is the most important thing. We think we will wait for everybody to say they are good to go.
Maybe just post in the chat that you're good to go.
Just waiting for the email.
All right.
Hi, Shrikant.
Yeah.
This is asking for a company name, but I'm a fresher.
Sorry, say that again.
Actually, it's asking for the company name,
Okay.
in the page, but I'm a fresher.
Oh, okay.
It-
So
it-
it
it-
didn't ask you for the company name. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think it will create its own domain. It's not a required one. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, when you create your stuff, potentially some random domain that it may have given to you. Yeah, I did a little workaround for this to get the press off.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, that is not. I mean, typically, we can explain. I can explain later why that is required and all. Whenever you are implementing Salesforce for any company, the company expects to have their own name, so not like any random name. That's why we have to enable my domain on the backend setup, and once we enable, the names will change.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I just got the email right now. I mean, this is how potentially you should be seeing an email. And I mean, you see here, so I mean, when I registered with my email, I may have given some molex as my company name or something. So that's why it is taking that domain. But after that also we can change it. So for you, if you didn't give any name, you must have got some random thing, and then after that my.salesforce.com is same for everybody. This one should be different for each one. And you need to remember this username. So this is the one that you are going to use all the time. And also please remember your password. I mean, you can always reset your password or forget my password, you can get it back, but try to remember password. Yeah. So when I say verify account, potentially it will verify and it will, yeah, so I need to change the password. So, so this is where you go, and everyone got this one so far, or still waiting? Anybody?
Still waiting for the email, Srikanth.
Okay, okay,
Yes, Srikanth, I'm waiting for the email.
okay. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the experience. As you see, this experience is little different than what this guy. Let me see. This Craft, you see, this UI is, at least it looks better than what this UI is. Where is this other screen? Yeah, if you compare this screen versus the screen on the back, so this is the classic experience, and this is back in 2014, and also this is how it used to look, the UI, the default UI. And so they made a lot of changes. This is called the lightning experience on the back, and this is the classic. And performance wise, still classic is better, but Salesforce is not giving any new features in the classic one. And if any new customer comes in and if they want to buy any licenses from Salesforce, they won't give the classic one. And all the development that is happening, all the features that Salesforce is giving, everything is in lightning experience. That's why it doesn't make much sense to go to backward, basically. And so this is the one I mentioned in the screenshot. Let me see. So if you go to setup, yeah, I will wait for everybody to get it. So, and you see this lightning experience transition assistant. Just need to click that guy. And so here in the rollout phase, so just go to this go to steps. And yeah, so on the fourth one, there is this turn on lightning experience. We are still in the classic experience, and we just need to turn on lightning. So that's where this toggle. So just to do this thing, turn on lightning experience, and all of a sudden your UI and everything will change. And here you get this switch to lightning experience. So that's what we want, and we will go into this experience.
Srikanth, if you don't mind, can you show us how did you navigate to that?
Yeah, so I want you to maybe share
Okay.
your screen. I will actually walk you through. Let me see if I can make you presenter.
Just give me a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, if anyone is ready, so maybe you can share screen, and I cannot go. I can, let me see if I can go. So basically, you just go to setup. On the right hand side, by default, everyone will be created as system admin with the ARC because you just created it. And so go, this gear icon is the one that is set up, and the admin, most of their time would be on this one. So basically this is the setup, and all the admins would be spending most of their time here. And so here, if you type, earlier it was coming lightning experience transition assistant. If you just click on this guy, and here the rollout phase, go to steps, and the fourth one, the turn on lightning experience. So the steps are right here. So anybody still waiting for the email or?
Unable to click on the toggle icon.
Okay, unable to, able to.
Click on the turn on lighting experience.
Okay,
If I'm clicking, there is no.
nothing is happening. Maybe
Yeah.
once you do that, maybe just refresh the screen. So that might help. And
Okay. Thank you. Shrikant, I got an email.
okay.
My email. What's the next step?
Okay, yeah, the first one, so enable lightning experience, so that most of our work is going to be in lightning experience. So here are the, let me paste these steps here. Yeah, on the right hand side, you see this gear icon, that is setup. And from there, navigate to setup, and I pasted steps. You should be able to follow the steps. Yeah, so here I think I did not say much here. So if you just type in lightning, I think you should be able to get that migration assistant. I mean, yeah.
Okay, Shrikant.
Yeah. So I hope Bharati, you must have got this one already. So are you done? Yeah, you may be unmuted.
Sorry. Give me 2 minutes. I'm doing that.
Okay, no, just wanted to check who is
Yeah,
waiting. So
I'm doing that.
Yeah, we were able to turn it on.
so is it that's Karthik?
Actually, Shrikant, this is Kishore.
Okay,
I
Kishore.
joined as Sumedha and I are
Okay,
under her name.
okay, sure.
Srikanth, if the org is created recently, they're directly giving you the lightning, looks like, right?
I mean, ideally that's my expectation, but I don't know why it created classic for me. Yeah, if you already got lightning, that's good. So I mean, that's what I was expecting. But yesterday when I created one, it was in classic. I had to turn on, and even today when I just created, it was still in classic. Did you get the lightning already?
Yeah, I don't even see the transition assistant.
That's good. So I mean, your domain should be something lightning.force.com. Is that what you are seeing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, if you want to switch, potentially you can go to here, switch classic, and I believe your thing would change to
My Salesforce.
yeah. So I mean, this is how you switch between the environments. The user experience, but most likely we don't have to switch. So we need to stay. We can stay on Lightning.
Okay.
And some features are not supported, but I don't think we will run into those. Sometimes when you navigate immediately, you will see, especially in setup, sometimes you will see classic experience, but for end users, typically you don't see any classic experience at all.
Shrikant, does this have a expiry?
Yeah. So you must have seen immediately when you log in. So 45 days, that's what I'm seeing.
Right. That's what
Yeah,
we see.
this is a short-lived one. So, but I mean, I will go through why we have to use this guy. And I'm following some Salesforce documentation, training documentation. And it will be, I mean, helpful if we use this arc versus the regular ones. And I hope all of you have some, at least one trailhead arc by now. And you should be able to compare this arc versus that arc. And I will go through some of those changes, what you see in difference, especially how an enterprise arc would look different than these temporary arcs or maybe the free training arcs that Salesforce gives us. Anybody, is everyone done, or is anybody is still working on the Lightning experience, or maybe still waiting on the emails?
Shrikant, I changed the password. After that, one page is open now. I don't know what I have to do.
Oh, okay. So go, I mean, you are able to get in, do you see the classic experience or Lightning experience? Yeah, I mean, typically you can say that by looking at the URL. If you see lightning.force.com, so you are already in Lightning. But if you are in Classic, the UI looks little old, older kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like a older kind of thing.
Okay, so go here, setup. Yeah, so just type in Lightning here and click on this guy. And second one, rollout phase. And yeah, I think I gave the steps little, I mean, launch Lightning experience and then go to steps. Yeah, I think I gave it. Okay, so and then this, just this, turn it on and then reload the page.
Shrikant, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can make you presenter, and I can. Yeah, I'm sorry. So, who is this? I want to make you presenter. I'm looking for your name. I'm sorry.
Who was that had question?
Kritika, right?
Yes, yes, Shrikant. I will share my screen.
Okay, I mean, I don't know whether you can directly share your screen. So, I mean, if you are able to, yeah, please go ahead.
Srikant, you have to make her the host. I think.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking who is it?
Kiritika.
Okay, let me make you host. Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay, Shrikant.
Yeah, so yeah, hit that setup on the right side, on the right corner. Yeah. Right, yeah. And yeah, click the get started. I think I mean, since you are in Classic, it is giving you that get started. Yeah. And the second one, rollout phase, go to steps. And last one, number 4. And yeah, all the way, the turn on lightning experience, just that hit the toggle on the right side, to the right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just click there. I think it should take it. You don't need to move that thing. So you just, yeah. Yeah. Now you see on the top, you can switch to lightning experience to, yeah. So yeah, so you are all set. So you see the URL lightning.force things, and you can say yes, hello. And yeah, so this art will be good for 45 days.
Thank you, Shrikant.
All right, no problem. Let me take back the screen share. Okay, I think you need to make me presenter now.
Yeah, I got it, Srikant.
Okay. Can you please make me presenter again? You may have to click on my name and then. Okay, good. So is everyone good now with the setup?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So we are all set with this one. So I think I mean, I don't know. I asked all of you to install this Salesforce on app, and if you have any smartphone access, please feel free to install this Salesforce one app and log in with the credentials. I think you know your user ID and the password that you just set up. With that, please log into mobile. Either you can do it now or maybe you can do it later, but please do that later also. And if you have any problem installing, I think it is directly, I mean, this arc that we just created, it is more like a production arc. And there are Salesforce has sandboxes and production arcs. So even though it is training arc, it is on the production servers. So that's how, that's why you don't need to make any changes. You can just use your login, username and password. If it is sandbox, there is little setting that you need to do on the mobile, but with this with the training arc, you should be able to directly use your credentials without any changes. So I mean, now let's get into what an admin would be doing in real life. So potentially most of the time, whenever we work on Salesforce projects, um, the admin is the main person that is going to talk to business, and also he or she is the person that is going to be act as a mediator between the developers and business. So I mean, in real time, most of the projects are going to be an agile. So admin is kind of writing a lot of stories. And they take the requirements, and they also will be part of user acceptance testings, and they create a lot of training materials for the end user, and these are all everywhere admin will be involved. So in any Salesforce projects. And so typically you will act as business analyst plus Salesforce admin. That's how you would work in the system. And once the project goes live, so obviously there will be a lot of issues that users will face, and related to either passwords or login related issues. So, and you will be working with the end users for production support. I mean, again, depending on how how organizations are going to use, but admin is the one that typically handles this if they are on production support. And so they take the business requirements. Some of them we talked about in the initial call. There are some declarative options that admin can do, and there are programmatic stuff. So most of the declarative stuff would be done by the admin. Again, so sometimes it varies, but that is a job function of the admin. So they do all the declarative part, page layout configurations, object creations and all. And if there is any custom UI requirements or any batch jobs that need to be created, so potentially that's when we will leverage a developer. Okay. So then there are a lot of times there will be requirements related to data. So there will be data quality. If we, let's say, if anybody is creating cases, accounts, the data quality is very important. So that's when we will make sure the users won't put in invalid data or maybe incomplete data in the system. So that's where we bring in some validation rules and all. And also we don't want to allow the end users to create duplicate data. So that's where we typically write some duplicate check rules, and that's the data management part. And sometimes we have to make sure some security, even though the most of these things are for the employee tool. Salesforce is mostly for employee tool, but still some users can see some data, some users shouldn't be seeing some data. So if it is secured, so only managers should be seeing some data, only HR should see some data. Those kind of things we have to potentially put in some security controls around the data. So that's how the admin would be taking care of that stuff. And finally, so a lot of reporting would be done by the admins in Salesforce. And yeah, as I said, setup is the one central place all the admins would go in and do most of these activities. So either we want to create users, we want to create profiles, we want to put in any data management duplicate rules, or we want to control security. So report is another one. So we typically don't need to go, but there is one place where we need to go to reports, but pretty much all the functions so you would be doing in the setup. And the features, so we need to enable some features. Sometimes they say, okay, I want to enable opportunity teams, account teams, those things we have. I mean, the admin would go in, enable that. So you already enabled one function. So right now that is the enabling lightning experience. So those are the things not end users can do by themselves. The admin has to go and set up that one. So once admin sets up, then only the end users will get those. And so on the currency, so if the organization has a global reach, so they say, okay, they may have multiple currency requirements and multiple language requirements, all that stuff the admin would be doing in the system. So. And again, so the business requirement may say, okay, I want to see these fields, these objects, this, I don't want to see this kind of data, all that stuff. The admin would be responsible to take care of all that stuff. And again, so I see some of these are very handy things, at least when I'm working in the system. I would say, please go ahead and set up these things. That way it is easy for you to navigate in the system. So let me show you. So basically, when we are testing in Salesforce, you are doing some work, and obviously that has to go in for end user. So there may be different experiences like personas we call. There may be sales user, there may be service user. Um, Different people want to see different kind of data, and even though on the database level everything is the same data, they want a different flavor of data. I mean, flavor of UI, I should call. And when you do all that stuff, you have to check, okay, whether the whatever the settings that you have done is working the way you want or not. So that's where the Salesforce has given one nice feature. You basically impersonate as that user, so you can log in as that user. Let's say if you make a page layout change, and if you for a sales user, and you should be able to log in as one sales user, and then you can confirm, okay, yeah, the changes that I did are working the way I wanted. So that's where this login as functionality would come in very handy. In the arc that we just created, this one should already be set. If not, we need to enable this guy. I will show you this one, and also this one, enhanced profile user interface, at least for me. So this is, I mean, the default one I'm not comfortable working. So all the time, whenever I create one arc, so I immediately I set this setting. That way, more, I mean, it is consistent for me. I can work. So I highly recommend this setting. Whereas the old setting, I mean, without this setting, it is very hard to navigate on the profile. I will show you that one. And then there is this enhanced profile list views. This is also a very handy tool to make some changes. Let me show you this. So this is the, I mean, earlier arc. So let me go back to this arc. Yeah, so here talked about two things. So if you look for login access policies, so this is under security. So everything is under setup. So this is the one I was talking. So we should be able to log in as, I mean, all of us everyone has their own org. So everybody has their own org, and on your org, you are system admin. So just remember that, and that's why we are looking at this setting. So administrator can log in as any user, and so this should be set already for you. If not, just select this guy and save it. I hope this is, you don't need to make this change. It's already been set for everybody. So then the other one, user management settings. If you go here, so this is the one. So this one by default, it is set as disabled, and enhanced user profile. So this is already enabled. So this one is good. And this one also, you can just say enable for this guy. So yeah, it is already saved. So it should be good. So just enable these two. This is just to make your life little easy, or at least you can follow, you should be able to follow with me easily. Are you good on these settings? Anyone has any issue on going to these three places?
It's clear, Shrikant.
That's good. So now I think we will go through this one. So basically the getting around the app, we created the Salesforce arc, and most of, I mean, some of you may be familiar already, but I will go through some of these. And we talked about the lightning experience and how to navigate to this, what is data model, and how you navigate around the app, we will see. And typically, there are a lot of things that are there in the app. So there are applications, there are tabs, home page, list views, Kanban views, and detail pages, and path, related list, and lightning page, global search, charter, calendar, so and files and content. So now if we go back to the arc that we just created, if you want, you can navigate as I'm doing. Otherwise, you can just watch me. Then you can just, I mean, we are just roaming around the app. So this is the app launcher, and this is where you will see a lot of applications. I mean, these are all applications, are apps. And if you see here, there are quite a lot of apps that Salesforce has already created with the Arc. And sometimes we may create our own applications and we expose those to the users. And so you can drag, and if you see here, potentially the way the order, you will see service, marketing, and all. Most of the time we will be working on sales app. So if you can move these apps here and there. So you see this guy, so I can move it to the front. So that way, when I go here, immediately I can pick this guy. Otherwise, earlier I had to go view all and then look for my sales app and navigate, or I had to come here, search for my sales app and then select that one. So there are multiple ways, but if it is readily available, so I mean on the first, I don't have to do all that stuff. I can immediately pick this guy. And especially this is for admin. So most of the time we are going to be in the setup. We might need to switch between these. So the app launcher is where you switch the apps. Once you are in there, so basically on the sales app, so there are a lot of tabs. So these are all called tabs. And so this is home page where you can see kind of this is a landing page for the users. And this is the real user experience. So this is not admin experience. And admin sets up all these things. If a business user asking comes with some requirement saying, okay, I don't want to see this thing, maybe show me other report or add some content for me here. So those are all the things that the admin would be doing. And this is the home page, kind of landing page. And maybe quickly I will show this guy. So on the user,
Because I have one doubt.
sorry.
I have one doubt, Shrikant.
Okay.
After I enable the administrations can log in any user, what is the next step after that?
Yeah, I mean, with that one, what you will be able to do, I mean, we haven't gone through that after we just enabled, but I kind of talked about it. When we go to users and just look for users,
Okay.
and as I said, so we may have a lot of different users. So here, when I say this user, so basically this is a sales rep, and before that, let me show you what my user would look like. So the way my user, I should have my profile as system admin. We will be doing a lot of work with these things later. And this is the profile. This is the one that gives power, a lot of power, what I should be able to do. And this user, whereas this user, this is a sales user profile, and this is a limited thing. We don't want this user to go to set up and make changes for the entire org. So that is the job of the system admin, and only few people will have this permission. Whereas this is the for end users, and there will be a lot of users. And so when I say, when we make some changes, potentially, let's say if I log in, use this thing, and immediately you will see, yeah, we need to enable the lightning experience for this user. Once we enable, this user will see different apps. So these are the apps. I mean, we are still in classic, and these are the apps. So this user has less options to select, whereas system admin has more. And so let's go back. I mean, log out of this user. I mean, that is the one that you will be able to do. So basically, once you enable that login as any user. So you should be able to, when you go to users, you will see this login button. If you disable that one immediately and then save it, come back here, you don't see this login button. So as an admin, if you want to test anything at that time, you have to reset the password for this user and remember the password of that user and login. So that's how we have to do. But this is an easy way for admin to make some changes, log in as that user, test it. Once you feel comfortable, basically come back, log out, and maybe you can proceed with the deployment. That's the real life. And just that setting that you just did enables this login button.
Okay, thank you.
So those are the apps. I mean, let's continue with the admin experience. I mean, eventually this sales lightning app, we will give access to this other user that we have seen, and the user will also see same experience later. So then this is the record page. Basically, this is home page, and here you will see opportunities, and here you will see accounts. Basically, accounts are any organizations that let's say whoever is this company, let's say this company implements Salesforce, and so they have to maintain a lot of accounts that these customers will buy a lot of products from the one who implemented Salesforce. That's the real life scenario, and we have to maintain all these customers. So that's where we can see all these accounts, and there are a lot of accounts that you can see. They came pre-packaged with the arc, and I believe if you see your trailhead arc, you may have only I think maybe 20 accounts by default you get, and maybe few contacts, but whereas here you get little more data. And the other thing that you would see mainly here, the number of licenses that Salesforce would give for this free training arc versus trailhead arc. And when you see company information, here you will see the licenses. So user licenses. So here the Salesforce license is the main one. So there are 55 licenses. Whereas if you go to your trailhead arc, typically I think you will see only 2 licenses there. So that's why I wanted us to use this training arc, and there are many more reasons why we are going after this training arc rather than the trailhead. Slowly you will see those. So the thing is more licenses here, and more data also. So here I think Salesforce will give a lot more data. So if you see here, I think in the regular arc you will have less data option. So here I think they gave you 12 GB of data that you can use, whereas there you will see less data. I want you to compare this arc versus the trailhead arc that you created later, but you will slowly understand why we are using this arc. So then we are at accounts, and you will see by default it will come to the recently viewed. Let's say if you have any accounts that you owned by you will see those accounts here, because I am not owning any accounts, and that's why I don't see. But since I'm system admin, I can have access to all the accounts. That's why I'm able to see all these accounts. And if you see here, there is an account owner. If we go to individual record, so this is where you will see the owner. So every record in Salesforce will have one owner. So this guy is responsible for this account, and any questions that this customer has or anything. So potentially this user is the point of contact for that customer. And so he will be visiting this customer very frequently, and this guy should be a sales rep. And all these phone numbers and all we maintain, so that this guy, whenever he logs in, if at all he wants to call this customer, all the information will be readily available here. And if you go down, so basically there are these contacts, activities, activities tree, if at all we created any activities, opportunities, cases, all that stuff. One 360 view. So this anybody that has access to this account can see by looking at this account record. So pretty much same with any account other record. So again, so we can, as an admin, we should be able to configure all this. And let's look at contact. So basically this contact, I mean, this account has 4 contacts. So this ABC Labs, so there are about 4 employees that works for ABC Labs. I mean, if you see all these emails and all, so they are all the same with the domain. And again, so this is not a requirement. By just by looking at phone number, basically they have different extensions, but under their roles, basically for that company, ABC Labs, what is their titles and all. So that's what I mean. This is responsibility. I mean, let's say there is a new employee comes in on this ABC Labs. This guy, whenever he visits that company, so Phil Smith is the employee of this Salesforce company. I mean, the vendor who implemented Salesforce. So in this case, let's say Crestsoft is the company and Phil Smith is their employee. And so ABC Labs is their customer. And Phil Smith, whenever he sees ABC Labs, so he meets these contacts. And if at all they see that, okay, there is a new contact that came in, potentially he will go ahead and create those contacts. So they will create, I mean, they can create a new contact here. So whoever is that, because you started from account, already this account is pre-populated for you. And the remaining data you have to fill in. And that's how you maintain the account, the related data. So then pretty much same. So you can go, I mean, if you want to see contacts, since we already navigated to this Arnon, we are already seeing this by in the under recently related, recently viewed. So let's say if you want to see all contacts, and if you feel like, okay, maybe instead of by any time when you go to any object, immediately the first thing that by default Salesforce would show this recently viewed. But if that experience is not good for you, so let's say you want to default my cases all the time, and you just pin this guy. Then when you go to other place, and when you come back to this in cases again, so since you already pinned, so this time it won't show recently viewed. This time it will just show my cases. That way it is easy for the user to access that information. And again, so you can sort this information. So let's say again I go back and let's say I want to see all accounts from Phil Smith or maybe any user. So we can sort this, or we can even so let's say maybe RES. Let's say let's type in partner. So now, so it is filtered only this partner types. So that's how you can work with search. And you can also, let's say you know you want to meet Arnold, so you can go here. This is a global search, so you don't need to go to any individual record. You can just search for that. If you already navigated to that, so it will automatically show you, or you can just search for the name, hit that guy, and it will show you that contact. That's how you navigate for the objects. And the next one is charter. This is the collaboration one. So let's say, and this is the main thing that comes with this arc. There are a lot of requirements that came in this arc. So most of these, we will just look at these questions here on the charter. So they ask us to do some work, and these are we can treat these as our requirements. And based on these requirements, we build the system. That's how we are going to go in the next sessions. And the charter is where I mean they collaborate between themselves, or they can ask questions to the admin. So there are groups that they can create, and that's how a lot of the collaboration that is going to happen here. And I mean, this is Salesforce earlier thing. So with Salesforce recently acquired Slack, and we have to see how that is going. I mean, Salesforce is going to use that one, but again, most of the time it is going to be it costs money for the companies. Maybe a lot of companies may or may not choose to go with Slack. They can still use Chatter. I mean, this is reasonably good, but not like as good as Slack or Teams. But this one meets most of the requirements. And also here, what you can do with Chatter, you can really, when you are posting any question, let's say you want to post anything, you can mention some Arnold, the contact, or ABC. Let's go to account. You can chat on the account itself. So here, if I post anything here, so this is always linked to that account. And we can share with any employee. Let's say Alison is one of the user, and we can share with the user. So Alison, and basically it mentions that user immediately. If this one, the post is going to be linked to this account, and also it mentioned that user, and if at all that user has any action, so immediately they can respond, and they can collaborate on this one. So since we had mentioned Alison Wheeler, and the user can go, and when we look at this user, and potentially we will see so it should come here. So yeah, I know we are a little out of time, so maybe I should quickly wrap it up. So I'm logging as Alison. I think we need to change this lightning experience for all these users. So you see here, so we logged in as Alison. Immediately we see the chatter post on that user. So basically it is already linked to this account, and they can, I mean, she can directly go to this account to check, okay, what's happening with this account and all. So that's how we will let the users collaborate in the system. I mean, this is the still classic experience. I mean, this is how you see, I mean, the experience definitely would be better compared to this old ones, compared to the new. Let me log out. I mean, this is how you log in, log out of that user to verify the user experience. And so yeah, so we covered charter. So I mean, this is the groups. We can create as an admin. We can create some groups, and we can add people under the groups, and they can start collaborating. So here, if you see, there is this group that we create. I mean, admin has already created, and there are these users. I mean, a part of this group members, and these users can see any activity that is happening on this group. So, I mean, we can add some description why this group is existing, and we can add more groups, and so we can manage. So, who is the user? I mean, who is the admin user? Who is what is the access that each user has as part of this group? So, if you see this guy, so basically, Alison has admin access, and the remaining people has little less access. And so, this is the one that we are going to see how this org is set up. And let's say if we go back, and you won't see all this role hierarchy and all in the regular Trailhead org. So if you see here, I mean, there is a little bit of organization org hierarchy that created. Typically, we won't replicate the enterprise org hierarchy in Salesforce, but based on how it is needed, based on the Salesforce data related access needs, we will create this role hierarchy. There is CEO, there are VP finance, and VP global sales, HR, marketing. So, and if you see sales, so there will be EMEA, the the Middle Eastern Asia, so those guys here, and Europe, and here on the Salesforce operation, and then there is a US director and US sales rep. I mean, potentially we will create the hierarchy. Any org will create, I mean, any Salesforce instance will create this kind of role hierarchy, and we talk more about why this one is needed, and also for the different data access needs we create this role hierarchy, and also the higher managers can see the data of the lower people. That is another reason why it is needed to facilitate reporting, and also for the data access needs we will do the role hierarchy. So these we will cover in detail in the next things. Let me bring back the screen. So yeah, let me see. So we talked about the apps here. So these are various apps. So there is sales, there is service, there is marketing. So different experience for different people. And if I just switch to service, and you immediately see that number of tabs that are available for those guys is a little less compared to sales. So that is the experience. And we give sales folks only the sales app, and service folks as service app. That's how the experience will be different for each. And we saw the tabs, we saw home page, we saw list views, and we saw the how we pin the thing. And let me show you the Kanban ones. So there are different types of list views that you can create. So this is a table view by default, and there is Kanban view, and let's say so now potentially it will show a little different way. I mean, the data is same, the presentation is different. So the way however we want to create this one, so we can change this, and this is how the user experience we can change. And there is a split view, and here you will see all this data, and immediately once you select this guy, so immediately right hand side the information will change. And so these are all the things that we do as admin and the configuring all these things. And so we saw the detail page once we go, and with Kanban, the main thing is if we want to change anything, okay, this account ABC Labs, so this is not the biotechnology type. And if you say, okay, this one is chemical, so you can simply move it, and the back end, when we go here, so this guy is already changed to industry as chemical. Now, if I go back, if I switch it back to biotechnology, and I mean, you are changing the data basically. But I mean, so now it is biotechnology. So you have to, if you want to change this guy, you have to go in here, edit here, and change it and save it. So this is a little bit of multiple steps. Whereas if you use any of these things, it is a little easy for you to make those changes. So those are the easy things that system has provided, given as an options. So we have seen a related list, and all these contacts and the opportunities, those are called related. And this is the whole page is called lightning page. And when as a system admin, we go here, if at all we want to modify anything, so end users won't have access to all these things. So only system admins will have access to do these things. And this is how we are going to make the screen changes and all. And let's say if we want to add anything, so let's say one more tab or something, we just come here. So on the tab, and if we want to add one more tab, we just go add a tab. And if we want to say different one, so basically we can give different name. And
Shrikant, how did you navigate to this? Did you
yeah,
search
so,
for Lightning App Builder?
yeah, so go back. So as an admin, so as you are on a page, the simple thing is when you go here, I mean everything is under the gear icon. You can do edit page. So either you can do this here, edit page. I mean this is a straightforward way to go to account page, or you can go to setup, and there is something called app builder. And the Lightning app builder, you can go here and you can navigate to the pages. So and if, I mean for that account, so it is still standard page. That's why I mean we were about to create that page. So now if we go here, if we hit create, and it starts creating a page for us. And I mean this is how you create the next one. So we are going to create one page, but I mean there are at least two ways you can create these Lightning pages. And global search we have already seen. So when we are in here, when we, I mean, if you don't know which one we look for, so maybe if we want some count or something, or maybe if you know any account name, so potentially you can look for that. So let's say ABC. I mean, this is the global search, and it gives you wherever that ABC Labs is there. So all those places, it brings all those records. And the calendar is another one, so that we will touch. So these are all different pages, different types of things. So as a sales user, we need to sync our calendars and all. And this is where, and especially let's say if I'm here, I want to set up a meeting with some ABC account. Let's say that Arnold, I want to create a, so I will say ABC Labs, and I want to meet Arnold. So basically, for whatever the date that I want to meet, so I create that one, and so and immediately that event will be created. And if Outlook is syncing with Salesforce, potentially this one immediately will go to your Outlook also, and you will see it. And once you install the Salesforce One app, it automatically see all these meetings in Salesforce One also. And if you have any notifications set up based on this one, immediately you will go get those notifications on your phone. So the final one, I think a little different object is files. So here you will see all the files, and what are the files that you own, and what, I mean, these are the files shared by somebody with you. And if at all you own any files, you will see them here. And if you obviously, if you have navigated anything, you will see on the recent one. And I mean, those are some of the things that you will be seeing, will be working. So this is the reports. And if at all we want to create any reports, we will go here, create report, and the dashboards. If you want to create any dashboards, we can create, or we can access some of the dashboards. And so if we want to see any people, again, so we can search for the people right there, or we can just go to people here and look for the people, and all those 50 users that Salesforce, when we created this arc, whoever came with the arc, so those are all, you can see it here. So that's pretty much about the arc. I mean, the next one is maybe has homework. Potentially we can see this guy. So how to navigate all these things. Please go through these, and I mean, check, okay, how to figure out this stuff. how many accounts begin with letter A. So basically we got to go to accounts and we navigate to the list view. So on the name, we just click on that sort thing, and then you will see all the ones that start with A. And if you just click on that one more time, it is going to sort in the descending order. You will see account start the other thing. And yeah, just go through these, and as you navigate through the org, and you should be able to answer all these questions by yourself. And if we have any questions, maybe we can come back and discuss those. And same thing with this one. So I'm hoping, I know it is Sunday, so maybe I want to be respectful of the time. We can stop it here, or maybe if you guys want, I can definitely go more.
Gola, I think we should maybe stop because
Yeah.
maybe it's a lot of information and anybody has any questions, like you guys have been a quiet bunch. Please feel free to interrupt, and no problem, we'll go at a slower pace if required. So if anybody has any questions or feedback, please
Yeah, I mean,
let
feedback
us know
definitely.
now.
I even at office, people say I go a little fast. Please give, I mean, if you want me to stop or maybe repeat anything, please say that to me. I'm happy to go through that. I mean, end of the day, so you should be able to digest this information.
Yeah, the first session was a little unclear.
Oh.
Maybe because of mic or whatever it is, but this session it's good now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I speak through my laptop. I mean, actually, my screen monitor. That's how. I mean, I don't use any Bluetooth or anything. Mostly, it should be okay. But yeah, if it is not clear, I can change to some headphones.
So other thing, Shrikant, you gave us the pre-work thing, right?
Mhm.
Is there anything else that we need to follow to get started, like for the entire course that you're going through, right? Is there anything that we have to follow on Trailhead too?
No, I mean, as we see, we add more content. For now, I mean, if you finish that one, at least today's course should have been a cakewalk for you. Most of the time, you already navigated to leads, you already navigated to accounts. You must have been went to set up already when you are working on that content. Yeah, so definitely it should have been a little easy for you today's session to follow. I mean, obviously, I can't expect you to be master at these things, but at least comfortable wise, you should be comfortable with the content.
Okay.
Yeah, to answer your question, I think whatever I'm telling, so that is good enough for you for now. Yeah, please watch out on the charter. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, lot of questions that they ask, and we are going to start working on these things. So I mean, we take these as requirements, and yeah, I mean, we cover a little bit of this. I mean, there are a lot of things that these guys are asking to do as an admin, and we may not be able to do all, but if you are able to do everything on this question, I mean, all these questions, and I'm pretty sure I can guarantee that you are good to go onto any project.
Okay.
And I mean, if I can give any suggestion, I see most of people here either fresh to, I mean, yet to start work. If I can take some freedom and give any suggestion here, I mean, the role that you will be doing, especially if you want to be admin, so you need to speak up more, especially being most of these things are going to be remote projects. You have, I mean, and the role itself demands a lot of communication. You need to speak to business, you need to speak to developer, and you will be doing a lot of UAT sessions and all. So you have to, I mean, myself, I'm not comfortable talking to people that much, but the job demands quite a lot to speak to people, to communicate. Whereas if I'm a developer, I don't need to worry that much. Basically, someone will give me a Jira story or something, and they write clearly, okay, hey, this is what needs to be done. And I just complete that one. Even I can just comment on the same story saying, okay, I'm done with this thing. Nobody cares. But as an admin, you will be forced to talk or forced to communicate. I mean, I cannot say talk. Basically, either you will be doing chatter, Slack, maybe Teams. So yeah, just wanted to throw it out. Uh, you'll be exposed basically to speak or communicate. So get ready for that.
So it's more of a BA come admin role, right?
Admin mostly, yeah, you cannot, I mean, no one can write all these things for you, so you have to go talk to them what is their requirement and all. I mean, here if you see here, most of the time these guys, the way they framed it, they are asking questions. And also these guys, typically here this guy, I mean, VP of global sales, I mean, here they assume the way Salesforce created this content, they know Salesforce quite a bit with the assumption. But in real time, yeah, the people, I mean, business people won't, I mean, we can't expect them to know Salesforce. I mean, we have to teach them. Sometimes they come up with a lot of weird requirements, saying, okay, hey, I want this, I want like this only. Especially you see these kind of things when you migrate from one system to other system. They always say, hey, I have this thing and I want exactly the same thing here. I mean, that is kind of very annoying for people. I mean, especially for other side of the software developers, because things won't be the same as in the other system. So you have to adapt, and that's where the admins, developers, architects will play a big role, saying, okay, whatever you are asking is not good for this system, so you have to adapt. So those are the things that we need to tell business. So we need to educate them. So I mean, they are definitely, I mean, when you are working with VPs, directors, and maybe managers, I mean, they are very good on their roles, but I mean, they shouldn't be dictating what we should be doing. And I mean, it should be a lot of work there, not only just building the system. I mean, that's where I'm saying a lot of communication would go in the real time work. Yeah, I mean, just wanted to say it because most of you are with less experience.
Yeah. Thanks, Shrikant.
Stop sharing and we'll stop recording.
All right.